Oh, hello, Internet. Once again, we meet. And I come to bring you the great news about goofy footed marketing. Now, if you know about surfing, you might know about goofy footed surfers. Goofy footed surfing, right? Well, in marketing, and specifically in online marketing, over the years, I have seen and worked with and developed a kind of goofy footed marketing. What does that mean? Well, it's a strategy that operates against the grain in a kind of counterintuitive way. The purpose of which is to bring an alternative method of marketing any particular product or service to bear as a way to A/B test your overall strategy and not just your individual tactics. So, for example, say you are making an appeal to emotion in your marketing material, right? And that's your direct marketing strategy. You're using the appeal to emotion, and then you're jam packing it with all kinds of other wonderful things that will get the reader or viewer or listener's attention in an effort to convince them to try or buy your product, service, membership, whatever it is. The goofy foot in that same campaign will be to create the intellectual appeal and to use intellectual information that is less emotional, more clinical, more sterile, in an effort to convince those particular customers who are, or potential customers who are possibly more interested in the intellectual argument in order to try or buy your product, service, subscription, whatever. Free trial, doesn't matter. Whatever you're pushing. Now, why would I say that the intellectual argument would be goofy-footed? Well, it doesn't really matter. You flip it the other way around. If your base is the intellectual one and your alternative is the emotional, then you use the alternative emotional one as your goofy foot. Now, what does it mean, goofy foot? Goofy foot means you're doing it backwards, in a sense. You're flipping around the usual positioning of your strategy. So just like in an A/B test of a particular tactic, A/B testing the creatives on your ads, or A/B testing the text in your emails, or A/B testing the words on your webpage, the positioning of the graphics, etc. In the overall strategy, you're A/B testing the strategy differently. So you're A/B testing the timing, the sequencing, the delivery of events, information, products, services, what have you. Right? You're reversing the entire strategy such that if your strong foot is your right foot, you will goofy foot it by putting your left foot first. Right? Why would you do that? Well, we live in an age where all kinds of information is consumed by all kinds of people at scale on billions of devices across hundreds of countries every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, every day of every year. So, you cannot necessarily predict with 100% accuracy, not just the psychometrics or the psychographics, but the temporal, ephemeral, whimsical nature of people wanting to be random and doing so randomly. So they may be very predictable most of the time, and then decide suddenly, yeah, I think I just want to do something different this time. So in that moment, you may catch them better with a goofy-footed marketing approach. How can you know if it's random? How can you plan for this? Well, the way you do it is you have to have more than one touch point with the prospect anyway, generally speaking. Right? Depending on what you're selling, of course. There are some things you can sell first time a person is made aware of it. But if you're selling anything that requires any amount of investment that's more than just a few bucks, anything in the hundreds or thousands of dollars or more, there is a very high probability that they are going to want to consider your offer, and they may not buy on the first or second or even third or fourth or fifth or sixth consideration. It may take them 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 times. The more touch points you have, the stronger your relationship. The stronger your relationship, the probability of success in marketing them a product or service, right? Or anything. Why is that? Well, because we tend to buy from things we are familiar with. We tend to invest money where we invest our time. So if somebody needs, whatever, a freelance graphic artist, they may go to any number of sites that have freelance graphic artists available, find one. If they've never used a freelance before, it may take them a time, depending on the relative, but it could be many minutes, it could be hours, it could be days, possibly weeks, right? In order for that particular platform has good reviews from a third party's perspective, right? Whether it's well rated, whether it has a good, Trustpilot, whatever it might be, rating that they trust, that it's not some scam or something like that. So eventually, they might make that transaction. If you're just buying something, more expensive than a logo, or even a template-based design for a website or something, or a quick PowerPoint presentation, you might have to make many touch points with the particular customer or prospect before they'll actually buy, right? If you're selling a car online, because you're in the business of selling cars, it's not just a one-off second-hand Craigslist listing or something, right? You're buying and selling cars on a regular basis. Car dealership, or you work at one, and you're trying to make online sales go up. How do you do it? Well, in addition to building your list of leads and having to reach out to them on a regular basis with like an email newsletter, with offers, deals, whatever, you're going to have to email them some separate emails, which might include more personally interesting information, right? The whole trick is to personalize the relationship. And it's not a trick, it's the method. It really is the whole strategy. The more technology encroaches in people's lives and timelines, the more you as a marketer running automation need to personalize the marketing messaging to the individual. For the very simple reason that the individual expects to be treated as an individual, even if they know it's your technology doing that. Why? Well, because people like to feel special. And the more special you make somebody feel, the more they appreciate it. Even if they know that that specialty is given to them through a robotic process. They still appreciate the fact that your robotic process is aware to send individualized messages to each person, as opposed to generic messages to everyone, which may have less of an appeal or no appeal at all, and may in fact drive the customer directly to your competitor. Right? So keep that in mind. Try goofy-footed marketing. If you want to know more about that, you can always message me, as always, or leave a comment or whatever you do if you're watching this. I know practically no one does, at least on YouTube anyway. Elsewhere they do, but not so much on YouTube. And that's that for now. So Happy marketing. Cheers.